Hi, everybody. It's great to be with you tonight from Miami Beach. And this is a lot of fun, isn't it? Uh, it's a new way of meeting. At any rate, tonight's topic is very interesting, important, and could be a game changer for you. It's about residual income. And the reason it's so important, it's what we're all about. It's really what the business is about. And it's difficult to sell the business or get people to evaluate it if you don't really understand it. That's the main thing. It's the most sought after economic prize that exists, and people around the world that are entrepreneurially involved seek it and want it. And it's very difficult to get, but we have it. But I want to begin with a story that kind of leads me to this, a true story. When I was 21, I went to Bermuda. I was a marine biologist. I went with some friends during spring break, and this was an eye opener for me. This was an epiphany. It was a magic moment that really changed the direction of my life and probably led us here today. So I went, to Bermuda, and I saw these incredible waterfront mansions and huge yachts in front of them, and I was just in awe. So I asked the very refined, dark English Bermudian gentleman who ran the hotel that we were staying at, and he served as the manager, concierge, maitre d', bartender. I asked him, who owns those houses and yachts over there, as I pointed across the inlet and the cove. And he replied, those are owned, my son, by entrepreneurs. Now, I'd never heard of the word, and it wasn't very widely used back then. It wasn't popularized back then. So I asked him, well, what do you mean by entrepreneur? And to this very day, I remember his answer crystal clear, and I've never forgotten it. He said, oh, mate, they're the alchemist and high priest of the economy. They're at the top of the economic ladder. They are the people who identify an idea, an innovation, or a need and create it or supply it to the world. They take the risk and create enterprises and businesses that provide the world with technology or products and create jobs. They have no net to catch them if it doesn't work, and they go out on the limb to make it work and often have to raise the capital or to sell the idea to financiers who become their partners. Therefore, it is they who not only change the world, but make the world go round. And as a result, they become immensely rich and often have a residual income for life from what they accomplish, and the world continues to benefit from it. A residual income is income you put time in once to develop, but continues to pay you in perpetuity. Wow, that floored me. I was speechless. I decided, so that was the light bulb. Now, here's some good news. Congratulations, you are an entrepreneur. You are one. And entrepreneurs are first in line for residual income. So that's what I want to talk about tonight. Residual income is normally reserved or available for the privileged, the elite, and the affluent. It's like the Holy Grail. It's like the golden fleece. Everybody seeks it. It's the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Usually it takes, IP, inventions, apartment buildings, franchises, licensing rights, parking lots in high traffic density areas or urban areas or arenas, or it takes royalties on movies or being a movie star, an inventor, land leases, commercial real estate leases, apartment building leases, or tenement houses or slumlords. Those type of things are what end up earning people huge residual incomes. So how likely is that to happen for you? It's just not fair, is it? So You see, the bottom line is if you can supply an essential necessity or a consumable commodity or a part that's needed widely and used in equipment or essential mineral or commodity mining or be able to supply oil from oil wells or gold or copper mines or coal or natural gas. Well, you're in Lake Flint. That's going to generate a residual income, but it's rarely available to the average person. So, this is what I really want to talk about, and the screen isn't turning. What are you guys going to do? You got to excuse me for a minute. I'm froze. What am I supposed to do? Give me another, the camera, if the camera is on, I can work off my other. This is Andrew Weissman's fault as usual.
Thank you, Jay. Everything's my fault.
But I hope that you understand that, because you see, the business it was made to be a residual income generator. And that is the thing that everybody wishes they could have in life. Everybody wants in life, but it's very difficult to get. Yet we have a way that people can get it. And it's at least worth a try. If they're not going to try, well, settle for working for 45 years and ending up broke. But the fact that we have it and it's realistic and hundreds of people have already achieved it, thank you, in the business, it's proof that it works. So we're able to give people what I like to call an offer too good to refuse. Now, the day that you realize that and start using it is the day that you'll start getting people to lead to people. It doesn't matter if every single person does it and succeeds, okay? It's at least worth taking a look at, evaluating, and leading to some people, because if they lead to the right people, they're going to get credit for it, and they could end up with a residual income. So the major point is that Market America is a business, and the unfranchised is a residual income machine or generator. The unfranchised and NPCP was actually made to result in residual income for the average person. I didn't make the marketing plan or develop the NPCP and find all the products and come up with the unfranchised concept and all the different product brokerage major markets just to put it together. It was all done to create a mechanism, a program, a machine that would generate residual income for the average person. That is our commodity. That is our real product, you see. So first, you have to understand and appreciate the difference between income and residual income. And if you can't talk about this intelligently and fluently, you're not going to be very good at communicating it. So regular or normal income, salary, pay, even commission, is different than residual income, as one is simply exchanging time for money. You got to put in the time to get the sale. You got to put in the time, to get the paycheck. And you must put in the time on a continued basis to be paid. And when one stops, the income stops. So that's quite limiting. Residual income is much different than a job, pay, salary, or regular income. As one is exchanging time for money in those, but in residual income, we do it once. We put the time in once, but we get paid continually on a continued basis for what we already developed. So that is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Now, at convention, I was trying to make, or not convention, World Conferences, trying to make, three major points that I thought could lead you to residual income and help you get more people doing residual income. And so here were the 3 points. You can see them up on the screen. First of all, the question is, do you agree with this and believe in it? Number one, residual income. We have what everybody wants and can provide and offer an offer too good to refuse. because it doesn't take an investment. You don't need money. You don't need education. The barriers that are normally in the way or prevent people from trying something or becoming successful are removed. So it's without risk, and they could lead to the right people. Now think about this. The whole business, and you're a pro, you're dedicated, you're trying to make it work. All you need is the right material, the right people. So we can give people an offer too good to refuse because they'll never find another way to get residual income. And that is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Just to look at it, evaluate it, try it, and lead to some people. If they lead to the right people, they're going to be sitting in a very good position. Okay, now they may not do it the way you're doing it, but what do you care if they led you to the right people? They still get credit for it. Okay, so the second thing is MPCP and unfranchised business and evaluation technique and trial run are synergistic because we only have to build 2 legs and people get credit for a whole year and it searches to infinity and they get 100% credit without dilution. All that has to happen is one person leads another to another to another, and somebody doesn't, everybody gets credit. They all want in. And even if they don't, you know, some will be half rich, but you still found the person to do it with. And that's all you need. All you need is the right people. But you don't have people leading to people. So I use this mechanism of having the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, the golden fleece, the holy grail, the prize at the top of the economic ladder to entice people to evaluate it and enthrall them with how cool it is. I mean, come on, guys. We have something that is incredible. So the evaluation of people leading to people are the fuel for the MPCP engine. It doesn't need 20. It doesn't need 10. You don't need to build wet. You don't need to add on. We just need to get those 2 legs going and people leading to people. The reason your legs don't go is people aren't leading to people. So I use a pot of gold to entice them to at least evaluate it and try it. And so the final thing is, if you get these 2 things straight, what residual income is, and the process of getting people to lead to people and the evaluation technique, all we really need to do then in the last step, and I will do this in a future session, is program your brain. Think, visualize, use the logic, break down into steps, reverse or cancel negative thoughts, and reverse negative thoughts or statements, use affirmations, audios, videos, and be around positive people, and you become a magnet. You attract it, and it just starts to roll, and it starts to go. And we will do that, but one thing at a time. So let's talk about the value of a Market America residual income, because the whole business is designed, it's not about really selling product. Yeah, we have the great products. It's not about anything but the end result, which is the residual income in the MPCP. Everything that we do in the unfranchised, all of the tools, all of the systems, all of the products are there to support and develop and result in a residual income. So I hope you're getting this. That's the bottom line. That's where it's supposed to lead. So, you know the way the business works, from coordinator up to national supervising coordinator. I've listed on the left side the monthly incomes. And, it starts out maybe 300 per month, and they want to get it up to 300 per week. And then they want to get it up to 1,500 per month. And then they want to get it up to 1,500 a week, and then 2,100 a month, and 2,100 per week, and then 3,600 per week. That's the progression of building the 2 legs and making one BDC absolutely solid, rock solid, the pot of gold. Because then you only have to build one more leg at a time in order to earn another $187,000 a year. But let's just leave it here. These are not that high levels. These are very realistic levels. There's hundreds, if not thousands of people at these levels. Now, the income that it generates, it yields from having developed one time an organization with repeat customers and people that are building the business. It turns into a residual income machine. So what would you need in the bank or in treasury bills in order to have that income? What would you have to invest? What is the worth of that income, in an investment or in dollars, because that's a great way to value the business. Okay, so let's just say $2,100 dollars a month, not per week, per month. Well, you'd have to have $1,260,000. Now, let me ask you a question. Let's be honest with each other. Let's be straight. How many of you have $1.2 million in the bank? And how are you going to get it? And will you have it next year or the year after? Or will you have it in 45 years? What are you doing with the business? I hope you get the point. I mean, okay, I don't know how someone lives off of $2,100 a month. I certainly couldn't do it. $2,100 a week starts to become more livable. Okay, so $2,100 a week is only $109,000 per year. To yield that in interest or in treasury bill returns, you need $5,450,000 per year. Oh, let's not argue and split hairs over the fluctuation in rates. Okay, generally, this is the way it is. They might go up a little or down a little. Okay, this might be 6 months old, but the principle is still exactly the same, isn't it? And to make $3,600 a week or $187,000 a year, you would need $9,360,000 in treasury bills or investment or in the bank. How many of you have that? How many of you are going to ever be able to have that from your job or from what you're doing? How many of you could ever leverage that? You see, my point is, it's possible here. There's so many people that have reached this level. And all we need to do is take this pot of gold that everybody's looking for, but nobody can attain, and provide a mechanism to test it out so that they lead to the right people. Because you do know what to do. They don't know what to do. They don't know how it works, but you do know how it works. And you have a team of really talented people that can work with them, but you don't have those people coming to the table to try to get the pot of gold. That's the bottom line. So I look at this, an unfranchised income comparison. You invest money, not to invest money, but to earn money, to get a return. Okay, so what does this make our return worth in the real world, in the banking world, in the financial world? Okay, it's equal to the amount of money that you would have to invest or have and what it would yield. So this is what you have to have saved in cash in order to have this monthly annual residual income. And how many people, have 1.2 million and $9.36 million put away? What about you? Let's just forget everybody else. What about you? You who understand the business, you who have been at conventions, you who are dedicated. What's missing? Are you using residual income in the pot of gold? Or are you trying to explain the 5 steps and all types of details, but never sold them on the real deal, what it's really all about, and have them make a choice so that they cognitively understand it and make a choice and commit to something that they could never have anywhere else? That's how I build the business. That's how I built it since the beginning, and I believe that's why we're successful. So how many will have or make or save this much in 2 to 3 years? In 2 to 3 years, forget now. Okay, what about 45 years? You're only 30, you'll be 40. You're only 40, you'll be 50. You're only 50, you'll be 60. And the years slip by. So look ahead. If you don't have a way to get it now, how are you going to get it then? Unless you realize that the unfranchise is the way to get it. And you dedicate your life to it, your effort to it, and start treating it like what it's really worth. So here's a fact of life. Everybody would love to have a nest egg. Everybody. Who do you know that would not like to have a nest egg? A nest egg being a retirement fund, extra money, where if they lost their job, they could go on living, okay, a little bankroll to be able to do some of the things in life that they want. Who does not want that? If they tell you they don't want it, they'll lie to you about something else. That's the bottom line. You agree with that? But most people don't even get to the point where they can think about investing or buying a business or buying investments or stock or securities or currency or anything. Why? Well, first of all, they don't have any discretionary income to start with. The only thing that they might have that they could turn into money is their time and effort. And they need a vehicle to apply it to that'll actually do it, that's been proven to be able to do it. But you won't make that point. You won't make that point because you just try to sign them up without selling them first on the 2 to 3 year plan over the 45-year plan and residual income and the value of it. Instead, you just try to get them in. Now, I won't let them in unless they lead to people. Why? Well, why would you want to bring anybody into the business that can't lead to anybody? That can't sponsor anybody or lead to any customers? It's an exercise in futility and it devalues the business. But in this turbulent markets, one needs to be able to personally watch their money or they may lose it. And in the topsy-turvy, off the manipulated markets of the day, there's no guarantee that you will gain on an investment. Read the fine print and the disclosure, and you'll see that they'll say that you'll probably lose your money. That means your saved money as capital as well can disappear. Why not put that time, energy, and effort into something that generates a residual income that's not dependent on those type of markets? Invest your time, your money, your effort, your vision into something that can produce an ongoing income from what you built that doesn't require a tremendous investment. It's not money that builds this. It's understanding it. It's focus. It's getting people to lead to people. It's following the principles that work. And that's what I'm trying to give to you. Everybody can afford to earn hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars here, but they have to do what's necessary. Okay, so residual income. This is a very important slide because this is, whether you understand it or not, or believe it or not, what the business was made for and what the business is really all about. Residual income is what sets us apart and puts this opportunity and system at the top of the economic ladder. You're not exchanging time for money. What you are doing is developing or creating something once. You're getting paid continually and indefinitely on it because it's based on consumable products that are revolutionary, that people need, that are priced right, that people beat the door down for, and you build an organization where other people develop a residual income. And that's the glue that holds it together and allows it to be incredibly profitable and lucrative without having to be limited by how much money you can invest and without the risk that would normally cause people not to do it. So it's a proverbial pot of gold at the end of the rainbow or the golden goose egg. Usually residual income is reserved for the privileged and the elite or the affluent because they have to have money to get it. The system is designed for the average person, removing the normal barriers and obstacles. It's the highest and best use of one's time because it provides both income, listen to this now, both income that you need to do the things and have the things that you want, but you might get a job or you might get a profession or you might get into business and have the money to get certain things, but you don't have the time freedom. Because it's both the income and the time freedom to pursue one's dreams and to live freely that makes this very special. And you have it. So what happens? See, most people are unconscious. They're comatose. They're on the treadmill or in the rut, and they don't even realize that time is passing by. They start working a job when they graduate from school between 17 to 21. They work for 45 years until 65 to 72 years old. Okay. And we call it the 45-year plan. And the statistics are not something that we made up. We're staring reality square in the face. I want to challenge somebody to debate this, because sometimes people say, well, where'd you get those numbers? Hey, the numbers are worse than what I put up, much worse. The Department of Labor and Social Security Administration and the insurance and actuarial tables show that after 45 years of working a job in the US, 1 is rich, 4 are financially independent where they can stop work and maintain the same lifestyle. 7% still work, probably because they have to. 26 are dead, probably because they work themselves to death. 62 are broke, living from paycheck to paycheck, or getting $1,785 per month in Social Security. I don't know how they can live off of that, or depending on some form of subsistence or assistance or help. So here's the most important slide. I first asked you this, but with each person, this is the starting point. This determines whether they qualify or not. Why would I want somebody to come in that doesn't understand the power of the business? Okay, the power of the business is not the 5 steps. It's not reentry. It's residual income. So if they don't understand that, they don't understand what we're doing, and there's no reason to show them the rest. Okay, so here's the choice. This is what it comes down to, my friends. A plan for someone else's financial success is what they have, the 45-year plan. Think about this. People work, 95% of the people in this country work for 45 years of their life, and a plan for someone else's financial success to make the other 5% successful and independent, and they leave out themselves. They lose it. Okay, that's the 45-year plan. Now, most people are experts at that. They've been doing it their whole life. They don't need to figure anything out or be taught anything. Just realize that's what you got. So I might be sticking it in their face. They're continuing to trade time for money. And where does the time go? So you work for 45 years to make someone else successful. You end up living paycheck to paycheck and are broke. And so the other choice, what we're offering as an alternative, as a possibility that you'll never know unless you take us up on the offer too good to refuse and test it out to see if you can lead to the right people with the help of others. And you don't need to go find anything, develop anything, buy anything, make anything, or have any huge financial investment. You just got to try. So it's try or cry. But if you haven't sold the dream, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, what this is really all about, how are they supposed to figure it out themselves? So a plan for your own financial success with the unfranchised, with a blueprint, a plan, which you don't have, for your success, and a 360-degree turnkey system for internet marketing, retailing, and online shopping that'll produce a residual income. And it can be done in 2 to 3 years and has been proven over and over again for a 6-figure residual ongoing income. Now compare the two. Which would you prefer? See, that's the bottom line. But you can decode it and don't want to bring this up. This is more important than showing the rest of the plan, because I can get back with them and show the rest of the plan. And if they choose the 2 to 3 year plan, we can talk about who they might know that may know the right people. And talk to them about how we would do that. So 6-figure residual income generated in 2 to 3 years that continues to come in continuously, indefinitely. And if it's done right, it just keeps coming. Where's the proof? You don't believe me? There's hundreds of people with Market America, many who have earned millions, that have gotten it for 15, 20, 25 years. We're not up for question. They are. And we're trying to give them an out. So choose between the 45-year plan or residual income and the 2 to 3 year plan. Okay. So that is what it comes down to. Now, I got to make the point that if you think the same and you do the same thing, you're going to get the same result. And that's what the treadmill illustrates and is all about. So did you get stuck in a rut, even though you got into business? Because if you're not doing the evaluation technique, if you're not making somebody come down and make a choice between the 2 to 3 year plan and 45-year plan and qualify them. So you don't even need to know how to prospect yet, because you still have a list of 100 people. And if you would change the atmosphere and get a partner to do it with and do the evaluation technique, you would start to get some traction. Okay, but the treadmill or job or traditional business is like a hamster mill. Okay, and some UFOs make the business into a treadmill by not doing the applications that we teach and not really doing the 2 to 3 year plan the way it's supposed to be. So this can be a breakthrough. Don't feel bad about it. It's so easy to correct. It's simply a shift in thinking, you see? And it's a shift in saying, hey, I'm going to change this now. I'm going to make a little shift, okay? And I'm going to find somebody, and there is somebody who's doing well in the business above you that has credibility, and I'm going to hook up with them to prime the pump. So we learn the evaluation approach. We rehearse it. We practice it. We have fun with it. We do it together. And we tag team if necessary. But the bottom line is you have an offer too good to refuse, where people around you and people that you know are struggling and working their life away, and the years are disappearing. And in 2 to 3 years, they could turn all that around and be free. And they don't have to go. See, normally, if you want to do that, you have to go out and create something, find a business. But with the Market America Unfranchised, we have a business that's relevant, right in the mainstream of what's happening. It is leading the parade with online shopping. The brick and mortar collapse. It's realistic. It's using technology. It uses mobile. All the things that are important today, you have wrapped up into one package. But you got to get people to lead the people. Okay. And the thing that's going to get them to lead the people is not the details of the plan or signing them up, or it's getting them to understand residual income in a 2 to 3 year plan and believing in it and wanting to do a trial run, a test run. And not everybody gets into Harvard. I'm sorry. Not everybody makes the football team or the basketball team. Not everybody gets the high paying, attractive job. They got to go through interviews, tests. There's hundreds of people applying and they only take the best. And that's the same thing with our program. Why? Because we have the cookie, we have the carrot, we have the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. We have what people wish for, what people want. So you got a 360-degree turnkey internet marketing system with the Market America Unfranchised for what, $129? I don't even let them put that in unless they can lead the people so that it's going to work. But that would cost them literally hundreds of thousands of dollars. And here it's all wrapped up in a little package for them, and all they got to do is try. But they're not going to try stuck in their mental constipation unless they understand what's different about this. And that's residual income. So, it comes down to who do you talk to and what do you do when you talk to them? Do you wake them up and show them the light, show them the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? Or do you let people stick their hand in the sand and then try to talk them into it? Because you see, it comes down to they either choose a 2 to 3 year plan or the 45-year plan. They either want and understand and get for the first time in their life what residual income is about and that it is possible, rather than opting or choosing or settling for the 45-year plan, the rut, the treadmill of getting a paycheck and never going anywhere and always coming up short, which is a choice. It's not a matter of talent. They don't have to have tremendous talent. They don't need to be a nuclear physicist or a brilliant physician. They just need to try. They just need to want it. So that's why I'm so big on it. But what do? You try to bring people in who, do they qualify? Look where their head is. And that's why you're having a problem. But it's easy to change, folks. See, the process and the pattern that we teach is, one, to show them residual income, get them to understand that there's something here, that there's a technology platform behind it that tracks what people want or people buy, and it tracks their footprint. And it's able to actually have a financial platform that converts it into a residual income. And we can show you how that works. But the bottom line is, okay, you may know the right people. I know that you're busy with work. I know that you have your kids, you know, in soccer. I know that you teach at the church. I know that you do all these things. I don't want to upset your apple cart. But if you know the right people and lead to the right people, it could mean some residual income to you. And then maybe later you want to put more time in, but that's up to you. But what do you care? They led you to the right people. Are you getting this? You see, people leading to people first, not signing them up, is a big key. And it comes down to the evaluation approach. Where am I on time? I designed this so that I can end at any time and pick up, because the next thing I want to teach you is how we do the evaluation approach and how we qualify people so that they start leading to people. And that makes it easy to, you know, to work. I got 4 minutes left. So listen, the evaluation approach. The evaluation approach doesn't work without residual income, because residual income is the offer. It's the offer too good to refuse. The opportunity just to evaluate this and possibly identify some people that might be right for it, which we will talk to with them. We will get on the phone and do 3 ways, and we will meet with them. And if they end up leading to people, they may not be right, but they may lead to people, and they may lead to people. And if you lead to one of them, okay, and then another, you're going to be in a situation where you have a residual income. You got everything to gain and nothing to lose. And what else do you have to do? And say, I'm very persuasive in this. Why? Because I really believe in it. Okay. And I get them on the front end based on logic, based on facts, based on the reality of a business that actually works, to evaluate this and to make a logical choice. And I believe that somebody has to be illogical or mentally constipated to say no. And if they say no, hallelujah, I don't have to waste my time with this one. I have a lot of fun as a result. You see, the evaluation approach is the opposite of recruiting or trying to get people in. I actually make an excuse for them, because I don't want them, when I talk about residual income, and now you may know some of the right people. Here's what I thought. You know, people that are online shoppers. You know, people that are in technology. These are the type of people we should talk to, because they'll get it and they might see it. You may not be ready to do it, but they may be. But I know that you're busy, you're going to school at night, and you probably don't have time to do this, and that's fine. I do that so that they're not, while I'm speaking, thinking about how they're going to tell me no, or how they're going to get out of it, or what excuse they're going to make. I'll make the excuse for them right up front so they don't have to worry. All they have to do is push the button and it's done. Does everybody follow that? So if they do have someone who might know the right people, you and your partner will show it to them. And if they are the right person or lead to the right people, it could mean some money to them, and they're going to get credit for it. And they may lead to somebody who leads to somebody who leads to somebody who leads to somebody, like I did at the convention down the aisle, okay, with the wave. When one person says yes, they all have an opportunity to stand up and get a piece of the action. And then that leads to more action. And that may lead to them getting a second one. I hope that you're getting this. It's magical. And it doesn't take that much to change the way you're doing it. You're not that far from winning. But just remember something. We have what no one has. And even in other programs that claim to be able to give residual income, the amount that has to be produced, the volume, the number of channels or legs or businesses that have to be open become unrealistic. for the average person doing it part-time, but not here. And that allows us all to have a common interest where we're all working together to help each other, which greatly increases the probability of individual success. But try or cry. You got to try. And if you've been in for a while and it hasn't come to the level you want, maybe this is a reason and explains it to you. For once, now you understand. You're not that bad. You just haven't done the thing that makes the magical difference. So I hope that you will. God bless you. I'm going to be with you next week. Every week, I told Andrew and Dana and the group, I want to do another piece of what I was trying to communicate at World Conference that seemed to resonate, and try to make this thing happen for you and get you on the 90-day fast track evaluation method technique so that you start hitting some levels and find the right people. Thank God for you. It makes my residual income easy. Let's make it happen. Love you.